That's right. It is the morning show right here on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and of course, LinkedIn. We're glad and happy to have you with us. It's a brand new week. We hope things are turning around for you as well. Let us know on social media anything that happened great with you, maybe this past month, maybe this past week, and or even just in the last couple of days. You know, sometimes we focus on so much negativity in the world, and let's face it, we're at a crazy time right now, and so we need some good love in the household over there, which I say, we got like a big family here, seriously. If this is your first time, you're not alone. We're here with the Breakfast Club. They've coined themselves that since, I believe, the middle of last year. Speaking of one of our other big, longtime members, happens to be one of our crew members over here, which he is made to have to sit there, no matter what, whether he likes it and or doesn't, right? We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. Yes, I'm always here.
Jesse just doesn't have, like, he may agree or disagree. I'm like, too bad, sit there and let's just talk about it. All right. I sometimes push the boundaries. I know. And Jesse's like, oh no, I don't know. Right? It's true. I know. I feel bad for you, Jesse. But you know, I try not to put you under the gun too much, right?
Yeah, you try not to.
One time I saw a comment that says, please let him talk. I'm like, he doesn't want to talk on this subject, believe me. But you know what? I feel sometimes we have to talk about things that are uncomfortable in order to get through it all. And then once we get through it all, it's like ripping off that, you know, I don't know if it's ripping, like taking kid gloves off. You know, sometimes some subjects have to be dealt with, and you got to take off the kid gloves and say, okay, we're now an adult. Let's talk like adults, right? So there you go. Wherever you're tuning in from, let us know on social media. Big shout out to Periscope people. Country Boys tuning in. Thank you. Chris K, TBN. It's your first day joining us on Periscope. Hopefully it will not be your last. Join us again. Let us know what you want to talk about and or cover, although we'll still cover a lot of stuff. We got world news, we got local news, we got fires, we got a lot of stuff that we'll get at the beginning of the news hour off to a start. We got Tashawn Edmonds. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. We got you guys there as well. Big shout out to you guys. But we need to take a break. We'll be right back right after these messages with more right after this. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, in just a few minutes, we'll actually be joined by our ABC News Radio affiliate over there, KMET 1490 AM. We do top of the news hour with them, so that's why we have two different shows going on, technically. The social media show, which is you guys, and then our behind the scenes, which is you guys as well. And then we're getting ready for our radio audience. You know what, Jesse? You should just play over the air. Let them hear what KMET is like. If you have the app, this is what you would hear. Can you let us listen to that a little?
Oh, sure. Let's see if I can get that through.
All right. I don't hear anything.
Okay, is that enough?
Huh?
Did you hear that?
I don't hear nothing.
Oh, you did hear anything? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any over-the-air programming. Poor Jesse. He's not. Whatever button you do when we come back live, that's the button.
Okay, did you hear any of that?
Nope. Oh no, we're not going to hear our music, Jesse.
No, not necessarily, because the ABC satellite comes through a different feed.
But shouldn't I be able to hear over-the-air programming like commercials and stuff that you usually switch that on or off?
Good question. You're starting to scare me now, so I don't know. We'll find out.
This is how we roll. Download the app. KMET Radio is where it's at. KMET 1490 AM. That's where it's at. Local news, national news, top of the hour, and there you go. It's all right. It wasn't meant to be heard, evidently. All right, so let's see. In social media land, let's bring up some of you guys. How much time do we have on this break, Jesse?
We got 40 seconds.
All right, that's enough time. Let's do a big shout out to those tuning in live. Let's see. Tell us where you're tuning in from. Stephanie Ring, Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. Let's see. Rosalie Huerta, thank you for tuning in. Angel Robertson, Scotland. Awesome. Thank you. Victoria Means. Hey, Victoria, good to see you again from Long Beach tuning in. Thank you. Diana Carbajal all the way over there. Thank you. Katya Wunderland from Switzerland. Thank you. Bobby Stamps. Good to have you with us. Bobby's always a thinking guy. He always says things that you could tell he's always thinking outside the box. We appreciate that type of thinking mentality here on the show. Maria, tuning in. Thank you.
10 seconds.
All right, cool. We love you too, Diana. Thank you for the shout out from Downey, California. I'll try to remember that. My sister lives in Downey.
2 seconds. See if you can hear the music.
That's right. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live streaming audience there, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope TV, Apple TV, Podcast, Stitcher. That's right. You got to get a switcher to do what we do. And we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So lots of news, obviously, in the headlines. I think for us right now, we're just coughing because of all the smoke in the air. Can you tell us what's it like in your neck of the woods over there?
Yeah, for the past 2 days, or for the weekend, it's just been absolutely gray. Just smoke everywhere. You can smell it. You can see, if you leave your car outside for a bit, you can see ash collect on your car. And it's just a real crazy scene right now.
Yeah, it's and behind the scenes, we're just like, I don't understand how all of these fires, I get the fire weather, but I think there's just been a little bit too much behind the scenes making these all very almost evenly placed so that we all get like inhalation. It's really sad, but look, wherever you're at, if you're in the affected areas and they say, please evacuate, then please do evacuate. Of course, we're not the only ones. California has been joined, unfortunately, by Oregon. Oregon, as well, has had some pretty major fires over there. I think I saw, and I'm not sure which fire it was. There's so many to keep track of. You got all along the coast, up and down and scattered. You've got maps that show pretty much fires almost everywhere on the West Coast. Then you got Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, unfortunately, being hit really hard. I think I saw, and I don't know if you saw this video's been kind of going around the world where there's like a tornado fire storm. Did you see that? Did you see that video?
No, a tornado fire. That's even worse.
Yeah, which evidently the bigger the fire it gets, the more like it gets. It kind of creates its own weather pattern, is the way it was stated. But here's some good news. Okay, the heroic fire department of Guanajuato, from a city in central Mexico that for more than 50 years has called Ashland, Oregon, its sister city. 5 of their volunteer firefighters have landed in Oregon alongside their mayor to help their fellow stateside. Yes, Mexico, the headline says this: Mexico sends volunteer firefighters to help fight Oregon fires. According to that fire department's Facebook page, these men have previously trained in southern Oregon and will be providing support with the 5 firefighters, the first team to be dispatched to the area. Captain Aldo Ivan Ruiz, Captain Juan Armando Alvarez Villegas, Sergeant Jorge Luis Anguiano Yaso, Sergeant Luis Alfonso Campos Martinez, and firefighter Miguel Angel Hernandez Lara all arrived with their city's mayor, Alejandro Navarro, on Thursday. That evening, the Guanajuato mayor said that they had already begun their work, very moved to the terrible impact of the fire on families and their homes. Long story short, humanity at its finest, right, Jesse? I mean, when we think about it, obviously we talk about, at least I do on the show, stop throwing out names versus borders and all that. I get it. Some technically throw themselves at harm's way, even though some people go back to where you came from. Well, what if that person ends up saving your house? You're going to say that again? You know what I mean, Jesse? You know what I mean, right, Jesse? Or am I alone in this?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. See, an uncomfortable topic once again. Look, I get it. There's legal ways of getting through the border. I get that. And then there's ways which, I get it. Like some desperate times, desperate measures. Some families, you wonder why they try to get into the U.S. I get that. That's not really the subject I want to tackle right here, right now. I just want to tackle that, hey, let's not paint our neighbors across the border as all bad, as all villains, as all rapists, as all, what was the other stuff that was said about them? Because that's not the majority. The majority, just like here in the U.S., do we have all those in the U.S. stuck here? Yes. I'd love to deport those, but the reality is we're stuck with them, right? So, but here's the reality. Some people leave the country, go into other countries. What? They're illegal too, technically. I mean, you know, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Some people go into other countries and are like, you're not here legally? Well, I got here. You know, some people flee to south of the border to Mexico just to get out. So my point is this. This is a good feel-good article, but let's remember these feel-good people, right? Doing the right thing, throwing themselves literally into the mix of it all. I know some like, well, yeah, they're getting paid, but you know what? They didn't have to volunteer, and they did. So there you go. So don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If these are the people that are saving your family, guess what? You should be kind in the end. Seriously. Anyway, okay, so there's that. But I thought that was really good news. I'm sure you guys have some good news as well. If you have any, feel free to share it with us on social media. You can find us on all social media platforms. Aaron Michael Sanchez is the official one. KMET Radio is the second one. Okay, or the other way around, whichever way. It's the morning show. So we stream it on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on YouTube Live. So we appreciate you however you're tuning in. Speaking of fires, by the way, there was this article. I'm going to share this one in a little bit, but let me go to this really quick because this is also top of the news. Deputies shot in Compton ambush now in stable condition. I don't know if you saw this, Jesse, as it was happening. I'm not going to lie. I didn't get a chance to find out all the details, but to hear that they're actually stable is actually better news than I feel some wanted.
Wait, what was this about?
Oh, you didn't hear it either? Okay, yeah, it happened yesterday. Very sad, actually, and it caused a lot of people to say some really bad stuff in the area. Here, let me read the article. The two L.A. County Sheriff's Department deputies who were shot in the head in an ambush in Compton, yes, Saturday, are now in stable condition, authorities have confirmed as of yesterday. A senior official within the actual department told ABC News that one of the deputies, only identified as a 31-year-old mother of a 6-year-old boy, was shot in the jaw and arms, but is critical but stable condition. According to Sheriff Alex Villanueva, he said she helped the other wounded deputy, got on the radio, provided medical care, got him to a place of safety because they didn't know if there was another attack coming their way. The other deputy, a 24-year-old man, was struck by gunfire in the forehead, an arm, and a hand. He is described as alert. Neither of their names have been released to the public. Both deputies were sworn in, get this, 14 months ago. Meanwhile, the search continues Sunday for the gunman who shot at the deputies Saturday as they sat, get this, they sat in a patrol vehicle outside the Metro Blue Station at Willowbrook Avenue and Compton Boulevard. The department later announced a $100,000 reward for any information leading to the gunman's arrest. He was described as a black man between 28 to 30 years old. Authorities say he was wearing dark clothing and was last seen going northbound on Willowbrook Avenue in a black four-door sedan. Surveillance video, which has been going around everywhere, shows the man approaching the window on the passenger side and firing several times at close range. The suspect then ran off on foot, of course. One deputy was seen emerging from the passenger side and stumbling around on foot for several seconds before the video ends. Audio captures a frantic call for help from one of the deputies shortly after the shooting. According to one of the deputies, they said this, "I've been shot, send help." According to Villanueva, he said, quote, "This was a cowardly act. The two deputies were doing their job, minding their own business, watching out for the safety of the people on the train. To see somebody just walk up and start shooting at them," well, he used, can I do a quote with the P word? I don't know. It really made him upset. It dismayed him at the same time. There's no pretty way to say it. Outside St. Francis Medical Center in Linwood, where the injured was being treated Saturday night, a small crowd, talk about making matters worse, including some apparent demonstrators, witnesses say members in the group were chanting anti-law enforcement slogans and at one point tried to get inside the hospital. Shortly after that, a local public radio reporter was pinned to the ground by deputies and arrested. Now, according to this, President Donald Trump and Compton Mayor Brown were among the first public officials to come forward with reaction statements to the shooting on social media. Governor Gavin Newsom condemned the ambush shooting as a cowardly, horrific act and offered prayers for the recovering deputies. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden tweeted out, "This cold-blooded shooting is unconscionable, and the perpetrator must be brought to justice." And the story goes on to say officials were not able to get a detailed description of the shooter other than a man. Other officials cautioned that the surveillance video released from the scene uses a fisheye lens, so the suspect's height and weight may be slightly distorted. Anyone with information about the shooting was asked to call LASD homicide detectives at 323-890-5500. That's 323-890-5500. Again, that's 323-890-5500. You know, Jesse, look, and I've said this before, it's not anything new. I've always said we have to remember the majority of the police officers that have just doing their job. Am I wrong or right?
No, you are 100% correct.
And these two doing their job, not even that much on the force. 14 months, people, 14 months. Now, I'm not going to go and do the whole Training Day exercise, but do you remember the movie with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, Training Day, Jesse?
Yes, very well.
Now, remember, for anybody that hasn't seen it, it's a good movie. Not for the kids, not for the youth. But you know what? I showed my mom that movie once, and she actually really liked it. And I said, look, Denzel's playing a character. That's not Denzel. He's actually a really great guy. He just plays a really bad character, right? A guy who was a cop for a little too long, ended up getting in the wrong crowd at the wrong time and the wrong people, and ended up pretty much doing all bad, making the Ethan Hawke character who wanted to do right end up stepping up to do the right thing. There you go. That's the synopsis, okay? But in life, I saw that and I said, you know, people really don't understand what it's like to put your life in harm's way each and every day, especially right now. So here's what I say to each and every person out there who has hate, madness, or anger. And there were a lot of people chanting pretty much, let them die, right? Outside the hospital. That's an article that I read. How low do you have to go to say that about a woman who has a 6-year-old child wondering if his mother's going to come home from work?
Right?
She didn't even have to respond to a call. She didn't have to, look, there's armed robberies that happen. There's people, you know what, and lately I have this really cool app. It's a pretty cool app. It's Breaking News is what it's called. But on there they actually have, and I've been listening all weekend, oddly enough, it was a thing, to radio chatter, right? Radio chatter, which is like, you know, they have a digital version of it. You could listen into it. You just download the app. It's called Breaking News. You could listen. You just have to know the codes ahead of time, but it's basically their radio code, right? But you hear all of the things that they're facing day in and day out. Domestic abuse, domestic abuse, domestic abuse. That was like 5 of the calls. The other was a guy naked running around with a knife and a shovel, I believe. That was one. That was another one. And a bazillion other ones. You know, car turned over, crash, incident, accident. Here's the thing I keep trying to teach and preach here. Remember those that put themselves in harm's way for you or I. Do they have it easy? No. Do they all do what's right 100% of the time? No. We've obviously established that. I'm not trying to say of those that are really evil and or bad or do the wrong thing at the given time. Sometimes some just do, they try to do the right thing at the wrong time. Sometimes there was one call that I overheard the police chatter or the police radio, and it was this. The suspect may have a gun tucked in on the side of the vehicle. That was one of the calls. And I'm like, sign me up for that job. I'm ready to just, you know what, but I'm not ready to sit down in my vehicle, have somebody point blank, which is exactly what happened on this video, shoot. Not going to go out that way. Now, she's going to be maimed for life. He's going to be maimed for life. They have to deal with this. Was that payback, justice? You're going to pay back or do justice. Attack the cartel. Seriously, take them out. You know, don't do a... No, don't, because then that starts a war. Never mind, don't attack them, whatever. My point is this. That's not justice. That's called dumb. Don't be dumb in the world. Don't spread so much hate that this happens in your own family, your own community, your own... whatever you want to put it, okay? Just don't. Just don't. There's all sides to a story. Don't be so biased against one sort of badge that you basically make evil all the rest, because they're not. That's like saying, okay, there's murderers, there's rapists here in our own country. Oh, then Americans must be just terrible. Every single one of you, horrible. 100%. Don't be that person. I don't know who this guy or his life is, but I got to imagine in his own head, he's obviously right. Is he wrong? Duh. People, dumb. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. All right, we're on a commercial break. We do have a guest coming up later. Migraines. If you suffer from migraines, you're definitely not going to want to miss this story. Very interesting. 2 people calling in, doctor and the patient. So we'll be talking about that around the corner.
2 seconds.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Welcome
This
back.
is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, joined by our video audience, yes, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and, of course, Apple TV. We don't want to forget them. Podcasts everywhere. Just look it up, The Morning Show with Aaron Michael Sanchez. Lots of stories in the world, including this one. U.S. ambassador to China stepping down as tensions with Beijing rise. Yeah, that's one of the stories there. Let me read that one, because a lot of people as of late have been kind of I guess I don't want to say it, but I'm just kind of like oblivious to the fact that Beijing, China, and Russia, and the U.S., and Japan, and I think I read somewhere Iran, that everybody's kind of corralling under like, if we go to war, this is what we're going to do. So here's the latest. Terry Branstad will be stepping down as United States ambassador to China after, get this, more than 3 years in Beijing. Branstad is expected to leave Beijing before the November U.S. presidential election. The announcement comes amid increasing tensions between the U.S. and China on several fronts. Very important. Hold on to that word. Several fronts. The Chinese government announced on Friday it would be imposing unspecified restrictions on senior U.S. diplomats and personnel inside China after Washington put in place a similar measure targeting Beijing's diplomatic corps on September 3rd. In a Twitter post early Monday, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo thanked Branstad for his service to the American people as the U.S. ambassador. President Donald Trump, according to Pompeo, said this, chose Ambassador Branstad because his decades-long experience dealing with China made him the best person to represent the administration and to defend American interests and ideals in the important relationship. Pompeo didn't give a reason for Branstad's departure or any announcement about a potential successor to the important diplomatic post. Branstad was one of then-President-elect Trump's first ambassadorial picks in December 2016, shortly after Trump won the U.S. presidential election. Trump said at the time that the then Iowa governor was picked for the experience in public policy, trade, and agriculture, as well as his longtime relationship with Chinese President Xi Jinping, whom Branstad had known since 1985. Wow, that go way back. During that period, the two were believed to have maintained a friendship of sorts, with Xi meeting again with Branstad during a visit to the U.S. in 2012, while still vice president. Originally, Branstad's appointment was welcomed by Beijing, with Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lu Kang lauding him as an old friend of the Chinese people. But Branstad has overseen one of the rockiest periods of the U.S.-China relations in recent history. Since his appointment, the Trump administration has placed tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars of Chinese goods as part of a long-running trade war. It's also banned Chinese technology firms such as Huawei from the country's communications infrastructure and receiving U.S. components, and tightened visa restrictions on Chinese state media journalists working in the U.S. Not sure if you knew that, but that's the thing. On September 9th, an opinion piece written by Branstad in which he accused the Chinese government of exploiting U.S. openness in recent decades was rejected for publication by Communist Party mouthpiece People's Daily for being seriously inconsistent with facts. If you do wish, according to the state media publication, remember, it's controlled by the state, so take it for what it is. If you do wish to publish this op-ed or opinion editorial in the People's Daily, you should make substance revisions based on facts on the principle of equality and mutual respect. In response, Secretary of State Pompeo accused People's Daily of hypocrisy, saying that if the Chinese government was a mature power, it would reject the right for Western diplomats to working with them. So, look, long story short, here's the reality. The U.S. does not like China anymore. China's like, you know what? We don't care anymore either. And I say, what the what? Do you understand how many face masks are coming from China, whether you love them or hate them? Do you know how many, Jesse, just out of curiosity?
I have no idea.
I'll give you an idea, okay? Recently, I went to Fry's Electronics Services, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people I've met with in the past week and a half that I said, do you not have like a regular like N95 mask? Nope. They said, I just use this. I go, okay. Why do you not? I'll get some for you. I can get them for as low as $4 a piece. They're pretty simple and cheap. Now, it adds up if you keep throwing them away. That's true. But I found a workaround. It's called a UV light. Put it in the UV light, boom, you make it last forever, or, you know, every time you use it, right? So that's what I've been using, and I make them last. But my point is this, Jesse. And by the way, I haven't gotten sick with coronavirus. Neither has my mom. Just saying. But back to reality, right? It's not a cure-all for be-all, but KN95s, do you know what those are, Jesse?
No.
That's the Asian equivalent of an N95 here. It's exactly the same, by the way. So for those of you listening, go to Fry's. They have them all on the checkout aisle. Like, they're all right there. Seriously, you could get, like, face products, they're all in stock. So my point is this. Go get some. They're not that expensive. They're a little bit more than $4 a piece. Some of them not so much, but KN95s are equivalent to the N95s. Granted, they're made in Asia, but you know how many other stuff you have that actually, yeah, back to your phone devices. The majority all made in Asia. My point is this. If, in fact, we ever do go to war with China, what do you think is going to happen with manufacturing? Well, great, we bring the jobs back. I hope you guys are ready, but you're going to have to do that. So there you go. All right, people, we've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, for those of you tuning in, this is our commercial break. Big shout out to those tuning in right now. Good morning. Stay safe. I miss Teen Wolf too. Do you remember Teen Wolf, Jesse? Which one, did you ever watch Teen Wolf like back in the day with Michael J. Fox?
Of course, I've seen Teen Wolf. God.
That was good. Let's see. The comical one. The comical one. Thank you, comical, for tuning in. Movie Time Madness tuning in. Screamer tuning in. Thank you, Screamer. Tishan tuning in. Chris tuning in. Thank you. Let's see. S. Shra tuning in. Reaper of Darkness. I think they couldn't fit the Ness in, so Reaper of Darkness is tuning in. You know what? I welcome the Reaper of Darkness tuning in. Seriously. Maybe
You have a lot of work to do.
I know. Maybe. Some people get mad at the Reaper, but you know, I mean,
He's just doing his job.
he's just trying to hand you off to the right authorities. That's all. Caesar, let's see. Caesar Albarez tuning in. Thank you. Coco Montrese tuning in. Thank you. Let's go over to you guys on Facebook.
We got
Again,
10
around the
seconds.
corner, we're going to be joined by two guests. One of which is a really cool content creator. Does a lot of, I believe, cooking.
2 seconds.
Never mind. Author and blogger. Welcome back. This is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMT 1490 AM, and our live audience there on social media. Wherever you're tuning in, we appreciate you. We also appreciate your comments. Speaking of comments, let's go to our comments right here, right now. We've got a lot of you tuning in on Facebook. Big shout out to Rosalie. Thank you, Rosalie. Bobby says, thank you very much. Appreciate you. We've got a new name, Kajusha Freitag. To let us know where you're tuning in from, Katusha. Let's see, we got Diana Carbajal from Downey. Thank you. So let's see, very sad and disturbing about the deputies being shot. One thing about having hate about police brutality, but an individual shoot two deputies sitting in their patrol car is absolutely insane. And to see protesters in front of the hospital saying they should die, that is outrage. Yes, it is. And seriously, like, what type of level of depravity do you have to get to be that type of person? Victoria says, I pray all for the people, including firefighters affected by the fires. They'll be okay. You know what, speaking of which, there was a news article which I wanted to share earlier. I'm going to share it right now. Evidently, more needs to be done on this, but I say, you know what? One step at a time. California governor recently signed something that I posted on my social media wall. If you're not a friend already, find me, Aaron Michael Sanchez. Look for the official check mark. Here's the story. California's governor passed a bill Friday that will give prisoners battling the state's massive wildfires a chance to avoid a different battle after their release, that of finding a job. Under California Bill AB 2147, Governor Gavin Newsom is allowing certain prisoners who are on the front lines of wildfire containment to have their records expunged after serving their sentences. The goal is to make it easier for them to have a firefighting career after release. Criminal records are often a bar to employment. Newsom said he wants to give the prisoners a shot at becoming firefighters and that removing their criminal history will make that more possible. According to what he said on Twitter Friday, California inmate firefighter program is decades old and has long needed reform. Inmates who have stood on the front lines battling historic fires should not be denied the right to later become a professional firefighter. Newsom signed the bill against a backdrop of gray ash and charred trees near Lake Oroville, site of one of the most devastating of the many fires that have charred the state in recent weeks. At least 20 people have died in the California wildfires. That's according to CAL FIRE. The bill excludes those convicted of certain crimes, just in case you were wondering, including murder, obviously, kidnapping, rape, arson. That's weird, right, Jesse? Somebody like did arson and has to fight. You know what? That's a good punishment, though, I think. Let's see. Or any felony punishable by death or life imprisonment. California has been struggling in recent years to field enough inmate firefighters because of changes in state law that have reduced the number of lower-level offenders in state prisons. Court rulings also ended some of the incentives for inmates to risk their lives fighting fires when they could earn a similar early release credits with less dangerous duties. Now, there is one comment on social media that I said, I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Obviously, more needs to be done. And this came from Daniel Zamora, who said this: as a veteran, this annoys me. I was in a military firefighter for 9 years. California doesn't recognize DOD certification. Coming back from the fire academy, I was expected to go to college, redo everything with the kids coming out of high school. 9 years later, we are still not recognized in California. You know what? I agree with this man. What's wrong with the red tape? So we need to fix that right here, right now. So I say to each and every public official, let's right that wrong really quick. Let's get that out of the way because he's right. The veteran coming back from as a military firefighter has probably more experience than the person who just talks about it, right? Wrong? Maybe so? Not so? I don't know. But I do know this. We got to take a break. We'll be right back with a special guest coming up around the corner. Migraines is coming up next here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, we're coming back pretty soon with our migraine segment. Have you ever had chronic migraine? If you've ever had one migraine is enough, but chronic migraine? Oh my goodness. Ooh, not good. Not fun. Trust me.
Like, what's the difference between a migraine and a headache?
Oh, you don't want to know. It's like all over. You know what? That's a good question. We'll ask that of the guest. What's the difference? Migraine, I've had quite a few migraines. You can't think about anything other than the migraine. You're like, ah. And some are so debilitating that some end up just trying to sleep it off because they can't bear the pain. Imagine like a vice. That's not even a correct. Imagine your whole head just throbbing. Whoa, whoa. And then like pain in every sector of your brain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've had a few migraines then, because there's a few headaches where it just felt wrong.
Yeah, I'm getting one just thinking about it, Jesse. Seriously.
I know. Don't even.
It's psychosomatic. I need like that's not me. That's not me. It's somebody else suffering. But it's actually by some, I believe, and this is not the first time I've heard this, people. I haven't heard. This is not the first time, but I'm glad we're bringing some awareness to it. Believe it or not. Just wait till the information, okay? Botox. Botox actually
10 seconds.
can and does help some. I don't know that it helps all, but I know it's helped some. I don't know. We'll find out from the professionals next.
2 seconds.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It is
Yes,
the morning
it is
show
the
right
morning
here
show.
on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live audience there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Apple TV, Facebook, and Periscope. We appreciate you. Twitter and YouTube. I think I said a couple of those secondly. I don't know. I got a headache. But what's the difference between a headache and or a migraine? Spending time with us right now all the way from Chronicville is Dr. Jacqueline Duvall and Becca. Becca is a longtime creator, a blogger as well, does some really cool stuff. We've got Becca Ludlam with us. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, let's go to the first person who suffers here. Then we'll go to you, Doc. Obviously, Becca, you are a pretty cool content creator. You do a lot of really good stuff. I got to ask, though, when did the migraine start? And what's the difference between a headache and a migraine for those that don't know?
So my headache started about 20 years ago. It took me about 10 years to go see a specialist and to be diagnosed with chronic migraine. I am going to defer to the doctor and allow her to answer the difference between a chronic migraine and a migraine. All I know is that my head hurts, and so I'll leave that to the doctor.
Well, and before we do, just when you said my head hurts, like, did it get to the point where you had trouble thinking, living through your daily life? You obviously tried to push through.
I did, and I pushed through for a while, but it just got to the point that it was almost daily, unbreaking migraines. You know, it was just constant pain, and it finally reached the tipping point when my family and I went to the lake one day, and it was overwhelming and painful, and the sun was really bright. It was making it worse. I put a hat on or sunglasses on. That made it worse. That's when I realized that I needed to step in and seek help from a professional.
Okay, let's go to Dr. Jacqueline Duvall, who is a board-certified neurologist based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and is Oklahoma's only fellowship-trained headache specialist. Dr. Duvall, I understand this is not your first rodeo.
That's right. I've been treating migraine for a while now, and patients just like Becca who really suffer from a debilitating disease.
So tell me, what is, when somebody comes to you like this, what are some things that you can suggest and or help them acknowledge?
Right. So I really want patients to come to me and tell me about all of their headache days. It's not uncommon that they want to tell me just about the severe, debilitating attack, which I certainly want to know more about. But with chronic migraine, individuals experience headache days of any kind, 15 days or more per month, lasting an average of 4 hours or longer. And about half of those have migraine features. As Becca mentioned, the light, sound sensitivity, and nausea are prominent with those.
Got it. Okay, so, thank you for establishing kind of a good baseline, because I think a lot of people put up with it and they go, oh, like me, I get mild headaches. Every now and then I get a sharp pain in the top right of my brain, but usually it'll go away like in 50 seconds, whatever. But for the chronic person, are they much like Becca, where they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna, especially men, do you find, some are just kind of not wanting help?
So on average, individuals with migraine wait 4 years before seeking a healthcare specialist. And that really emphasizes the importance of this campaign, the Say No to Chronic Migraine Monday campaign. It really urges individuals living with chronic migraine, frequent headaches, to seek out a headache specialist, receive a correct diagnosis, and find out what treatments are available.
Speaking of treatments, look, I'm the first one to admit I never knew this until a family friend actually says, Botox actually helps migraines. And I said, what? That makes no sense. Is that true?
Right. So I want you to realize that there's no cure for chronic migraine, but there are treatments available to help manage the disease. And that's why Becca and I are happy to partner with Allergan, an AbbVie company in this important chronic migraine awareness campaign. Botox is indicated for the preventive treatment of chronic migraine in adults. Again, that's 15 headache days or more, lasting an average of 4 hours or longer, and at least 8 of those have migraine features. Unlike acute treatments, which treat a migraine attack once it begins, Botox is a preventive treatment and works to prevent headache and migraine days before they even start. As with all medications, side effects are possible. Serious side effects include difficulty speaking, swallowing, breathing, eye problems, and muscle weakness. The most common side effects in clinical trials was neck pain. I urge those living with chronic migraine to find a local headache specialist and see what treatments might be available for them.
Well, okay, back to you, Becca. When you heard this, what did you think hey, perfect, always wanted it? Because I'm not going to lie. There are some lines in my forehead I'm thinking of removing. Is that where you put it?
So I know that it depends on the doctor, and every person has different symptoms, and so their doctor is going to do what's best for them. Personally, mine goes from in back of my hairline down to mid back area.
Okay, so for you, obviously, look, when you got help, do you feel better? Is my point.
I've been treated with Botox, and it has reduced the number of headache days per month for me. Yes.
Good. Okay. Obviously, where can patients go to learn more information?
Patients can go to BotoxChronicMigraine.com and find more information about finding a headache specialist, but also resources available locally for them.
Well, look, Doc, I'm glad you're here. I'm not going to lie. My dad went in and out of hospitals trying to figure out what is wrong with his. He would get severe migraines to the point where he just had to sleep all day. He just tried to sleep it off, and nothing ever helped. We didn't know if it was the nutrition or the lack of nutrition. Is there more information now than there ever was before?
Gosh, that's absolutely true. It's important to realize that your dad's not alone. 44% of people with migraine go undiagnosed, and a majority of them wait several years before seeking out a headache specialist. That's really the importance of this campaign, that there are new treatments available to help people manage their disease.
All right, very good. Well, look, Becca, really quick before we let you go, I understand you do a lot of really cool stuff, and you talk about nutrition as well. I got to ask, where can we find you?
You can find me at mycrazygoodlife.com.
Fantastic. And Doc Jacqueline Duvall, if I have a special case that no other doc is specialized in headaches as a headache specialist, can I send them to you, and how do they find you?
Absolutely. I'm here at Utica Park Clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They can search us on the web, but I really encourage them to visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com. There's a zip code finder, and they can find a local headache specialist near them.
Fantastic. I appreciate both of your help. If you guys have questions, we've got answers. We'll post the links to that on our social media feed. Make sure to follow us, Aaron Michael Sanchez, on all platforms. Thank you, both of you, for sharing. Becca, thank you for sharing your story. And Doc, thank you for making it easier to live in your own head.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, so there you go. All right, people. Yep, go check them out. Very interesting. And you know what? For those that suffer from migraines, it's no joke. It really isn't. I remember growing up as a young kid, and I would just see my dad go, "Oh, my migraine, it hurts so much." And I was like, what does that mean? And then I think I got my first one when I was 18. I go, oh, imagine that constantly being there. It's no fun, Jesse. It's just not.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. It does not sound good.
Yeah, so don't be a headache to anybody, okay? There's that too, right? A pain in the head, so don't be a pain in the head. Seriously, it's debilitating. Botox again, very interesting. There is information there. You're definitely going to want to check it out. We'll show the information a little bit later for you. Just follow us on social media and or retweet this. Here it is, BotoxChronicMigraine.com. BotoxChronicMigraine.com. You'll find some interesting information there that you would have never known to ask for before. But there you go. Jesse, look, I understand you've got some news over there.
Let's see, good news. Oh, I actually heard some good news yesterday. Paul Gasol, former Laker. I don't know if he's still on the Lakers, but yeah, he gave his wife gave birth to a baby girl yesterday.
Aww.
And I think it was the part that hit me the most was the name of his child. They named her Elizabeth Gianna Gasol. So they named her after Kobe's daughter, which I thought was incredibly sweet.
A good tribute, right? Aw.
Yes.
Yeah, that was, I think, that started at the beginning of 2020, and then everything was downhill from there, right? It's been a wild ride for sure, and yet we're all in it together. Back to social media comments. Let's see. We've got Maria who says, "Yes, Botox works for me." You see that there? So there you go. And she says, "You want to die with one?" Oh my God, what does that mean? I don't know what that meant. Let's see. We appreciate all of you else tuning in. Bobby Stamps, thank you. Katya, Wunderlin, also others. Rosalie, thank you. Okay, we're seeing your comments on social media. All right, let's switch gears just a bit to something a little bit more lighthearted, all right? I like lighthearted stories. I don't know about you, Jesse. There's this one, if I could find it in a minute. Here it isn't. You know what? I don't have any lighthearted. Oh, you know what? Here it is. Okay, here's one. Australians are hoping to save a whale from crocodile-infested river. Did you see that, Jesse? It's terrible. Poor little whale.
What's a whale doing in a river?
What's a whale doing with you? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Marine authorities, that sounds like a joke, right? Marine authorities were puzzled on Monday over how to persuade at least one wayward humpback whale to leave a murky, crocodile-infested river in northern Australia and continue an annual migration to Antarctica. There have been no previous recorded sightings of whales in East Alligator River in the Northern Territory's World Heritage-listed Kakadu National Park. And no one can explain why at least 3 of the blue water mammals venture so deep inland in a river with little visibility. Marine ecologist Jason Fowler said he spotted 3 whales on September 2nd while sailing with friends more than 20 kilometers, that's 12 miles for those of you here in the States, from the river's mouth. According to Fowler, said this, quote, "We happened to bump into some great big whales which completely blew me away. The water's incredibly murky. It's got 0 visibility, so you can only see the whales when they're right on the surface." He estimated there were 2 adults and a younger whale around 10 meters, that's 33 feet for those of you here in the States, to 12 meters, that's 39 feet here in the States. The West Australian humpback whale population has absolutely exploded. It's the great conservation success story in the ocean, according to Fowler. He went on to say, there are so many humpbacks heading up the Western Australia state coast now, they're bound to end up in new places. What's incredibly weird is the fact that they're up a muddy, shallow river full of crocodiles that's unheard of. Despite the river's name, there are no alligators in Australia. It was named after its many crocodiles by European explorers who apparently couldn't tell the difference. Northern Territory government whale and dolphin scientist Carol Palmer said there was at least 1 whale still in the river on the weekend. According to Palmer, said, quote, "We don't know what's happened, but it's obviously made a wrong turn and ended up in the East Alligator River. It's very tidal, it's quite shallow, and we're all pretty keen to get this guy out." Options to persuade the whale to leave the river included using recorded whale caws. You know, Dora. Remember that? Did you watch that in, like, Finding Nemo?
Yes.
We should both, like, apply for that job. And used successfully to entice the humpback whale out of San Francisco Bay, driving a whale away with noise from a lineup of boats worked in Australia's Tasmania Island state. Balmer said this, quote, "The crocodile wouldn't be so used to seeing a humpback whale. The humpback whale is large enough that none of us think that the crocodiles are going to try to have a go at the humpback." Fowler said the whale or whales are probably becoming tired from swimming against strong tides to remain in the same part of the river. Fowler said this: we spoke to the Aboriginal elders who speak for that bit of country in Kakadu, and that they said there's no name for whales. It's not recorded in their cultural history. They've never heard of this before. So you know what? Look, you don't have to hear of it to do the right thing, people, but I'm sure they're trying to do the right thing. So there you go. Crazy story, right?
Just a bit. I actually have one question. Is the whale that got lost a male, and did he fail to ask for directions? So,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's this way, Jesse. Yeah, right. Don't follow that guy. Let's see. And then there's this. We have a minute more for this story. The holidays are ahead. Halloween's just around the corner. Some experts saying that the spookiest time of the year doesn't have to be completely canceled as long as kids and families are complying with social distancing orders and rules set by community, especially when it comes to trick-or-treating. According to Dr. Edith Brancho Sanchez, an assistant professor of pediatrics and director of the pediatric telemedicine program with Columbia University Medical Center, said this: I don't want to say that trick-or-treating should be completely canceled. It's something that communities are going to have to weigh community by community, and that families are going to have to weigh family by family. Look, here's what I say. You're wearing a face mask, seriously. I don't know the problem with that. You're wearing a mask, right, Jesse? I don't know. Are you? I get it. Sometimes you don't, but you know, whatever.
no
So
idea.
Look, I don't know what you guys sit on that, but you know what? Here's what I say. Just do the right thing. Have some fun. Do it safely. I'm sure there's ways to implement, outside, right? Outside. I get it. It's family fun. I get it. But don't, I'm sure there's places, right? Like not Scary Farm, right? Or they're not open still, right? Yeah, back to amusement parks not open. So I don't know, but I do know this. We've run out of time. We appreciate each and every one of you for spending time with us. Share with us your good stories. And you know what? Cheer up somebody today that probably need it. Because seriously, this weekend, so much crazy. Bye, everyone. All right, for the rest of you tuning in, I appreciate you. Just do some shout outs really quick. That one Fulio tuning in, thank you. That one Fulio. Go out and bring a second Fulio. LS Sila tuning in. Jack in Tor. I don't know if that's Jack in Torrance or Jack in Tor. Mamie tuning in. Thank you, Mamie. Bolon Flow shared. Oh, thank you for sharing on Twitter. We appreciate you. We really do. Kadir tuning in. Thank you. On Facebook, let's see where you guys are tuning in from. Let's do a quick little shout out. And before we go, maybe we'll take up a little subject that's been on my mind all over the weekend. Big shout out to, let's see, Gordon there. Says, have a great day. Oh, Deep Piercy saying, have a great day. Awesome. Rosalie says, have a great day. Awesome. I love this positivity. Maria says, good one. Let's see. Okay. And many, many more. Maria. Yeah, okay. So there you go. If you missed that segment, you can check it out on all our social media platforms. Migraines, Botox. Who knew, right? It actually works for some. So there you go. Added benefit, side benefit, really. Which brings me kind of to a quick little discussion I was thinking about over the weekend. And it's kind of with this theme, right? When you go through life, you usually have one of two choices, okay? One, do the right thing. Two, do the right thing. You understand? Just do the right thing. Oftentimes, whenever I say that, I get hit up by the people that go, yeah, but that's subjective, or what does that mean? To one person it might be good, to another person it might not be good. To which I said, you know what, those are good questions I'd like to answer today. I was never given the chance where I was before, so I'm going to give the answer right here, right now. I always say, do the right thing, right? However, sometimes doing the right thing causes harm to you. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're faced with the decision, right, to stay and or let go of a family friend. You understand? But you're thinking of your family, your other family, and you're thinking that family friend is going to cause a lot of harm to the rest of your family. So what are you going to do? The right thing for the rest of your family. True or true? True. But does that bring you suffering? Does that bring you anger? Does that bring you sadness? Trying to do the right thing and say, well, I need a distance from you because I need to take care of my family. Is that the right thing for that person? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Now, on the flip side of that, the person that said, but I thought you were always going to be there. I thought you were going to be there forever. Well, okay. Well, now what do I do? And that person now feels abandoned, feels lost, feels completely like, I don't know what to do. Now, is that person doing the right thing? Who knows? Are they going to eventually do the right thing or do the wrong thing? To which I always say, if you know what the right thing is, then why do you do the opposite of that? Easier said than done. I get it. There's so many different levels of circumstances that sometimes doing the right thing sometimes seems to be the hardest. Let me give you another example. Recently, I had a very interesting conversation with somebody via social media, and they said, things can really change on a dime. I said, well, what do you mean? I said, I suddenly found out I got pregnant. Oh, really? Well, that's really good. Yeah, but the boyfriend got really mad and said, you know what? That's it. Done. Literally did not the right thing, did what's called the emotional thing. That's what I ended up saying in the end. It got really bad, okay? I'm not going to throw their business out there. No names are being used right here, right now. All I can tell you is this. It went from really bad to really great overnight. But now, the woman is upset at the man. Now, did he apologize? Did he say, you know what, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I know. I asked, I know what I asked, but you know what? And what did he ask? For her to have an abortion. Make that decision. Make it now. No, you have 24 hours, 48 hours. Just make the decision. Why? Well, you have to look at both sides of the story to understand the impact for that family. Now, here's her going, I can't believe you would do that to me. And oh, by the way, we have another girl. You'd kick me out. Why? In her head, he's not doing the right thing. Am I going to do the right thing? Or is doing the right thing causing a problem down the line? Well, evidently, she didn't have to think too hard about it. She's like, I called that out. Said, nope, going to keep the baby. My baby, whatever. To which I said, good job. That's good job for you. Back to him, though. Did he do the wrong thing? Yes. Did he end up doing the right thing? Yes. He ended up coming back several days later, evidently, not sure how much the timeline was. This all happened within a week. Basically confessed to being, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry. Now, at the core of it, he was just like, do you see what's going on around us? It's hard enough to pay for the baby. Like, we got to do, we got this and get this and get this. So he's stressed out of his mind. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to proceed. He has no idea. He has no idea what to do in his life. In the moment, he made a very emotional decision, not the right decision, but an emotional decision, reacted, was obviously quite angry, or what exuded anger, but honestly, he's just heart palpitating. I don't know what to do. This is the worst time to get pregnant. Oh my God, it's your fault. It's not my fault. Well, technically we did, but you know what you were supposed to do. Oh my God, you know what you did, because I don't know how I'm going to, I just didn't even tell you. I just lost my job. Now, I don't know if he lost his job, but let's just put that in there. I just lost my job, but I can't even tell you that. I don't even know where I'm going to get another job. I'm barely making ends meet. Like, we're barely making ends meet. What am I going to do? Did he say all that half stuff? Probably not. Right? Sometimes we do that in life. Scream at the top of our lungs, I don't know what to do next. I've been there. I've done that so many times. And then I have to be reminded, get out of your own way. Step to the side. Go somewhere quiet. Get one with nature. Calm your energy, calm your mind, and sometimes ask for help. And have faith that something will come through to help you figure it out. Some of us panic. Some of us say, all through life. We panic. We don't wait for advice. Sometimes we hear advice, but we don't take it. Did he probably maybe talk to somebody on the flip side that says, You're kind of overreacting. Ah! Now, on the flip side of that conversation, said, yeah, I apologize, but I'm afraid I'm never going to respect him. I lost just a lot of respect for him that day. I get it. Trust me. I've lost respect for 12 people I could count on my hand. But here's what I know. Sometimes people make decisions based on emotional circumstances. They don't think it through. They don't wait to see how it'll turn out. They just, I got to do this. I got to run away. Right? Relationships, always like, poop. Not always. Sometimes they stick together. Whatever. My point is this. It's a general illustration for something that we all go through. To which I reminded her, I said, at least he said he was sorry. At least he coughed up to saying, I'm crazy in the head. I apologize. At least he had a moment, not prideful, not haughty, not, yeah, well, I made that decision. Well, I'm going to live by that decision. Throw his girlfriend out, and then throw out his daughter as well, all because he was panicking in his own head. Sometimes throughout life, we have moments to panic. It's any given situation. To which I said, one day you're going to have to ask for forgiveness from somebody and or him, and you're going to hope you extend the forgiveness to him. Remember this. At least he did the right thing in the end. It may not have been the right thing in the beginning, but at least he did eventually. At least he corrected his path. At least he corrected his behavior. At least he corrected the course he was, if he would have stayed on that course, made a lot of matters worse for himself. In the end, he would only be hurting himself. True. Was it the love of his daughter that came to his mind? Who knows? Was it the love of his girlfriend? Who knows? Is he just stressed out like the majority of us? This isn't an isolated situation. It's a certain situation that actually really happened. Names will be never shared. But my point is this. In life, sometimes you have to say and get out of your own way and say, you know what? I'm going to move to the side of myself because I'm my own worst enemy. Whenever I panic, I never make good decisions. I always say this. If you're going to have to make a decision, the moment you're faced with some onslaught of information like that, which I get it, man. It's all of a sudden a baby's coming. Do you not see our bank account? We're like negative 500. How are we going to do this? Where there's a will, there's a way, some would say. But you know what? Families in America right now are finding a lot of will to have to proceed forward. What do I mean by that? There's people moving in with family members that they probably never thought they'd ever move in with just to make ends meet. Some are so still prideful that they're like, well, I want to make sure. I don't want people to know I'm really hurting. You know who those are? Actors, writers, producers that have built themselves up so high. I know, I've met some. I remember meeting one. He ended up committing suicide in the end. It turned out he was flat broke the whole time. The eagle the size of New Hampshire, though. He was always right. Everybody else was wrong. He'd always be mad at everybody else. I was always like, But in the end, he took his own life. In the end, he was suffering. Or was he suffering the whole time, but he didn't know how to let it out? He didn't know how to express, I need help. He didn't get out of his own way. Haughty people do not know how to get out of their own way. I use the word haughty. You can use a lot of words. Prideful, egotistical. That one's a little different, but it's almost in the same vein. Not quite, a little bit different. Egotistical is more of, I'm all that. Yeah, some people actually say, ego's not bad, makes me confident. That's not what makes you confident. Belief in yourself makes you confident. Egotistical is, I'm always right. Who does that remind you of? Yeah, I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Haughty. Not willing to admit when you're wrong. Unless you're God and or any other. Well, who did he ever use that ever was 100% correct and not wrong? Let's save that discussion for another time. So I'm going to keep my message very brief. Here it is. Doing the right thing sometimes isn't as simple as thinking, well, what's the wrong thing? But sometimes it is. Sometimes we make decisions in life to walk away from people and or to do something in order to pursue something else. And we have to ask ourselves the hard truth. Am I the one in the wrong? And if I am, how do I correct my steps so as to do the right thing eventually by the people that I say I love? I don't care if you believe in the political sector or not, the majority of us don't have that type of wherewithal to have that type of conversation to say, hey, yo, governor, mayor, president, dignitary, ambassador, hey, let's do the right thing. You can't request that of people that are in leadership capabilities. You just got to hope they do, right? You vote them in. They get sworn in. And they get sworn in by the Bible, which is oddly enough the most humorous thing to me, because I go, did they have to take a class before they get sworn in? Do they even know what they're swearing into? Because I see a lot of politicians swearing in by the Bible, I will uphold the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Oh, that's court, right? If they don't have a belief in God or a higher being or the universe, whatever you want to call it, do they actually think that he's going to hold them accountable? I don't think so, which I think if majority knew they were accountable, they'd be making different decisions, to which I say this. I don't care whether you believe or don't believe in something higher than yourself. Here's what I do care about. That you at least try to do the right thing. There are some that don't know how to do the right thing. You know who they are? The people that he kind of commented. Murderers. We'll just leave it at that. Murderers. Somebody that took another person's life. I know, you're like me. You think of those moments when, well, certain murderers are, it's neither here nor there. But I mean murdering to cause evil, to beget more evil. Does that make sense? Not the one that says, I'm going to come to defense for somebody else, and then I get caught in the crossfire, okay? Do you understand that? That's the difference. Technically, is that murder? No, it's called self-defense, and it's called self-defense even though it might cause somebody else to die. Back to police officers. Not all are 100% perfect. Agree or disagree? You meet one that is? There are some, you don't know what goes on in their day to day. I'm not excusing their behavior. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that the one who kneeled down on his neck when he says, I can't breathe, like that was the right thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do at that given time. Do I think he may have had a lot of decades of really good experience? Sure. Do I think that he let maybe some hateful pride come into his own sphere of existence in that moment and ended up doing the wrong thing? Do you think he was haughty? I can't answer that. I don't know him. Don't know his personality. You know, judges can be pretty haughty. If you've ever been in front of a family court judge, verdict, next. You're dumb, I'm right, next. And then there's some that are like, well, what were the circumstances? Okay, got it. Judge Judy, love Judge Judy, right? She calls out, I get it, I just trapped you right now. You just get out. Yeah, I don't even believe you anymore. All right, you, done. Hear the full story. I don't think you might be right all the time. If judges did that more often than not, they probably have a better legal system than we do today. True or not true, we have a legal system that goes all the way to the Supreme Court. And you hope the Supreme Court, well, here, look, I can't talk about the earthly court, but you got to imagine that somewhere up there's another court, right? If you had to stand, you know what, let's remove all that. That's all theory. We don't know. Have you gone and come back? No. But let's put it out this way. You know your own heart judges you all the time? Have you ever done something wrong and you go, you get that little palpitation or they call it the conscience, but I call it a little moment in your body that says, that's not right. Why are we doing that? You automatically excuse it and or judge it based on your own belief system. What is right to another, let's put tribal, okay? Tribes. Why do I say that? There's some that go around naked. They see no problem with it. You ever seen them in certain documentaries? Certain tribal communities still practice not wearing clothes. It's the thing, okay? For them, it's okay. They've been sheltered from the rest of the world. They haven't, whatever you want to call it. But for them, that's right. Are you going to judge them? They don't see it as anything wrong. Why would you judge them for their own tribe? Don't judge them. Be careful, it might judge you in a more harsh manner. In life, many people are told a lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff. And we have to kind of tiptoe back and forth. What's good? What's wrong? What's good? What's wrong? Some people try to do everything right and hurt themselves in the process. And they go, you know what? I'm going to do the opposite from now on. And then they turn to alcohol, drugs, or the like. There are some really good people that I knew were born good, did good, and then life handed them a bunch of stuff. And all of a sudden, they throw their life out into whatever comes at them, says, fine, I just don't care. I give up. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. Fine. Guess it's my time to go. And this person blessed more than you ever know. Could I say anything to cheer that person up? No. But honestly, it wasn't that that person was thinking with a clear head. That person got mad, angry, and upset. And instead of focusing on the subject at hand, they focused on being mad, angry, and upset. But the moment they switched their gears and started thinking about the people around them, love came back into their heart. Love, when it emanates from your heart, it suddenly makes you do the right thing. It suddenly moves you to action that will do something for somebody else. It may not benefit you. It may not help you. Some people become so egotistical as of late. All I hear people say is, well, if it benefits me, you only help yourself. You can't help anybody else. To which I say, it's a give and take, people. I'm not saying pour out yourself to where there's no, but you know what? Pour out yourself. You'll get outside of your own way in the end. You really do. Think about a moment in time, whether it be now and or later, or in the past, where you were so, maybe the past you didn't do it, but I could tell you 20 different times I've done this. The moment I'm at rock bottom, you know what I say? Who can I help? Who can I help? Who's out there that's probably suffering much worse than me? I know I'm in my own head suffering, but I'm pretty sure there's other people walking around me that I forgot about while I was all A-okay. Now, in the essence, do I do that so I will feel better eventually? Not really. I try to do it so that others can have some hope, and then maybe by them getting hope, it inspires me to continue living and having hope. Because at the end of the day, there's an interchange of encouragement. You know, you're not alone. Going through some stuff myself. The other person says, you know what? I'm glad you shared that. I haven't told anybody this. I'm going through a lot of stuff. Can I just share with you? I'm an open ear. I got 12 minutes. Sorry, my time's, but go for it. And I hate to do that, but I got to deal with stuff, right? But their time is more important. Sometimes, you know, I had to cancel an appointment, a tax appointment, because there was something that was more pressing with the person in front of me. And I said, you know what? This is more important. That can wait. That can be rescheduled. Sometimes you have to move things around to do the right thing. And we're living at a time where, you know, I drove down an area of which I haven't driven down in a long time. Monrovia, Duarte, Arcadia, which is near the fires, by the way, the foothills of LA. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, it changed. Sometimes you go to certain areas and you're like, dystopian era. That's what we're living in. That's what I said in my head. And I thought about the politicians up in their camps saying, we can't agree. Can't agree. All right, break. Pick it up tomorrow. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their livelihoods. People are closing down so much that nobody is having any more fun. You know, I didn't realize, I thought when people moved in with one another that they would be closer focusing on each other, not upset and mad and angry at life because all of a sudden personalities clash. I thought people would be happier saying, well, hey, we have family time, never had that. That happened for the first 3 months, I want to say. Some 2 months, some 1 month. Now you get stir crazy. Guys. Where are we going to go have fun? Let's go drinking. Hey, guys. I need to get out of here. Pool party, done. Guys. What? I'm getting stir crazy in here. I don't know what to do. Host a big party. What do we hear? I can't blame them. I get mad, I get sad, I get angry. But at the end, you can't blame them. We got to fix the things at hand. And those things that we can't fix, well, let's just focus on some other stuff in the meantime. As a community, you and I, we both can do a lot of good in the end if we remember this. If we put a man on the moon, what can we do here on this earth? If we got people, people are lining up literally. There's already a roster of people, actually kids, teenagers, getting trained to possibly eventually go to Mars. I'm not against that. I think it's amazing. Focus on something that you might be able to control. That's wonderful. Get out of here. Just don't take coronavirus with you, right? We are able to, back to technology. I don't care if you love them or hate them. China has amazing technology. In some cases, way ahead. In some cases, so ahead, certain other governments want their technology. True or untrue? True. But we can learn a lot. China wasn't always a technology giant. China had to get out of their own way. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, one of the individuals in charge there, I can't remember his name, did the right thing at the time and says, we need to help our people. I need to get out of this bubble of China. Let's see what the rest of the world is doing. Oh my goodness, Europe. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Switzerland. Oh, you do what? Oh my gosh. No, that's what is that? That's Sweden? No, I don't know. That's amazing. Australia. I don't know how many different countries he went to, but he went to other countries and go, we have to invest in our educational system. You know what? Let's get free for right now, okay? Let's test the best, ramp them all up, free education for all, boom, boom, exploded overnight. Took a total of, I think, 8 years. I mean, that's explosion overnight for any country. I think if we started that now here with telecommunications, says, you know what? Look, we got to pay for bandwidth. We technically do the same instruction. It doesn't have to be in a university. It could be in a bedroom. Seriously. We'll pay the teacher the same amount, but we're going to double their caseload, meaning we're going to actually have more people in there, because a lot of it's textbook. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of it's textbook. Turning in papers, exams, coding. You know coding? I tried to sign up for Roblox coding. They were out for like 5 months. Not cheap either, $300. Anyway, my point is this. There are so many technologies out there that should make learning easier. Let's focus on that. Is that doing the right thing? Yes. Are we doing that now? No. Should we be doing that? Yes. What's it going to take to get to do that? I don't know. I'm not running as president. But somebody who should be running should be thinking that and having that discussion. Oh, wait, Bernie did? Oh, but they call him a socialist. You do one thing to try to help people, you're automatically labeled a socialist. Ugh. Fine. Do the right thing, okay? Whatever the circumstances in your life, do the right thing. Well, that's kind of hard in any given circumstance. Then roll out all the not the right things. That's it. It's the opposite of doing the wrong thing. Do the right thing as much as it's possible for you and or your family members. Not just you, but you and your family members and or loved ones. Do the right thing as much as possible. Maybe in the end, you're going to agree to disagree, but at the time, you had to do the right thing. So just do the right thing. It may not benefit all. Maybe there's a happy medium. Maybe you didn't think about that. I like to watch this show called Suits. And in Suits, if you guys haven't watched it, it's great. Just go ahead and binge watch. I think 9 seasons. I'm on number 5. And the lead guy, training the younger guy, right? There's always a way out. You just got to look for it. There's always option B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And if you can't figure any of those out, you go to the number system, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. You get what I'm saying? There's always another option you're probably not thinking of, which I say, ask for help. Maybe something will come your way and you go, that would solve things for now. It might not be a permanent solvence. It might be a temporary solvence. But you know what? Take it for what it is, a gift from God. Or the universe, however you believe. But remember to believe in something more than yourself, because something more than yourself is here already, waiting for us to wake up. Wake up. Then look up and say, I don't know what to call you, but I'm going to try asking you for a favor. Please, I really need your help right now. You know, they say a lot of people don't pray until their life is dependent upon it. You ever see that? So what I say, better then than never. Seriously, better before you die than never at all. At least that says somewhere in your head, something's stuck, right? I'd imagine if an atheist at the very end of his day, like literally thought he was like, it was it, and he says, you know, I don't know if you're up there, but if you can you please have, I know I haven't been, but you know what, just can you help me if you're even up there? Maybe I'm just talking to myself, but I would like to think you're up there somewhere. And then boom, you're saved. And then they dispel it, right? No, there's a certain set of circumstances just happened, blah, 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 you know, and all of a sudden, boom, they go away, forgetting. There's the universe saying, give them time. Some people just need more time, okay? We're living in a time that isn't exactly the fondest of memories, right? I can't wait till one day we look back at this and say, oh, how did we get through that? I don't know, but we banded together. We didn't give up on each other. Good job, good job. All right, high five, high five. I'm tired. Can we go on vacation? Shoot, we can go on 20 vacations now. It's all cheap, inexpensive. They need our money. Okay, good. High five, high five. You know what I like to do every now and then? High five, guys. I don't know where you guys are at, but thank you. Because I know I'm not alone. I know it. I just know it. I may walk alone, but I know we are not alone in the universe. I don't care if you believe in aliens. I don't care if you believe in angels. I don't care if you believe in a higher being or the magical universe that is around us. I think in Star Wars they call it the Force, right? Even if the Force, it's all essentially the same, right? Help from the beyond, the invisible realm, whatever that realm is. I love that about Star Wars. It talks about the Force, but nobody talks about what the Force is. Ascended masters, that's what Yoda ended up becoming, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader in the end, right? In his ear, in his mind, helping him out. Luke Skywalker, I'm talking about. Well, not his father. His father was pretty bad till the end, but I don't know. Maybe he grew up and then he was like, hey, here's some advice. Fast forward to the Star Wars of later years, right? And all of a sudden, like, they're all needing help. Oh, yeah, he did actually. He did get some advice from Yoda. Remember Yoda visited him? I don't remember what the advice was. But you know what? However the advice comes, let the advice come. Sometimes it's not a spirit realm member. It's a person in your life. Stranger. You want to talk about it? Sure, yeah, I do. I mean, I don't, but I probably should. You don't know my life, so you're not going to judge me. Yeah. Maybe be that person for somebody else today. I saw a study the other day that over 35% back in August were depressed. I think that number's gone up to at least 58%. I could tell on my timeline on Facebook, so many people, so mad, so angry, so sad. Some saying, can you please pray for me? If I spent time answering every single person on that, I probably wouldn't be able to get to anything that I needed to do. But maybe reach out to that one person. Hey, how you doing? How's your world? What's going on? You okay? All of a sudden, I didn't know I needed all that help. I got your back. Not sure how I can help. Nah, just needed somebody to vent to. I'm here if you need me. Not all the time, but some of the time. Just try to do the right thing. Whatever that is, whatever the day comes, whatever it brings to you. Reach outside of yourself and lend a helping hand to somebody. Maybe one day you'll reach out and somebody will suddenly take of your hand. Don't believe me? Just remember this. You're not alone. You're really not. All right, people, I've run out of time. That's my time here on the morning show. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Ask for help if you need it. Bye-bye.